spiky-haired, tube-sock, head-banging pop punk that makes us all ask, wait, how old am I? Blink-182 exploded in the 2000s with coming-of-age anthem after anthem. And after a life in the spotlight filled with band breakups, tragedies and reunions, bassist Mark Hoppus has written it all down in his new memoir, Fahrenheit 182. Mark Hoppus, childhood, marriage, stalking, band breakups, cancer. I mean, what was it like to pull all this together?
It was hard, it was fun, it was healing, it was difficult. I don't know, I'd never written a book before, obviously, but I do love writing, and I found that writing helps me sort things out in my own brain.
One of the things I love about the whole arc of the story is just the centrality of the band. There's so much intensity, so much drama in all of that sort of stuff. How do you reflect on just how great bands are?
There's nothing that I've ever wanted in the world as much as playing in a band. There's like a brotherhood, there's a unity of purpose, there's a friendship, there's the arguments, there's the creative differences, but the talents that Tom and Travis have. I never have any ambition to be like a solo artist or to do my own thing unencumbered by, you know, Tom and Travis behind me that are pulling me down artistically. I always feel like any idea that I have, Travis and Tom make it 10,000 times better.
How much would you say that you were so invested that it wasn't really clear where Mark Hoppus ended and Blink-182 began?
When Blink-182 broke up for the first time, I really felt like I had no idea who I was. If I'm not Mark in Blink-182, then who am I? I felt like this enormous sense of loss, not only of losing my friend, but also of losing like my purpose in the world and what I enjoy doing and things like that.
Because you're older and more mature now, if it fell apart, would you still not know who you are? Or do you think you've got a strong enough sense of yourself now?
I feel like the band we're going to keep doing, we've always said we're going to keep doing it as long as it's fun and creative, and we're pushing forward and doing new things and feeling like we have more things to say. And I feel like we have a lot of ambition still in us that we want to continue writing music and telling our story. And if it fell apart today, I would feel nothing but joy and gratitude for the entire experience.
One more time.
In 2021, Mark was diagnosed with an aggressive form of blood cancer, a journey he initially chose to keep private.
When I was diagnosed, I thought to myself, I've been blessed for so long that when the cancer diagnosis came in, I was like, well, of course. At this point, you know, the other shoe has to drop. It can't go up forever. I accidentally posted on Instagram one day when I was getting my chemotherapy, and I said, one cancer treatment, please. And I posted it to my close friends and family, I thought, but I was wrong. And I had just gotten a giant dose of Benadryl and was starting to fade off to sleep, and my phone was going off, and I look at it, and my friend April had texted me saying, did you mean to post that on Maine? And I was like, oh God. But I just deleted it, and I thought that it would just go away, but of course it didn't. And the outpouring of love and support that I got kind of changed my perspective from, well, this is gonna take me to, well, this might take me, but I'm gonna go down fighting at least.
Do you see the way it came out as a blessing of any kind, or are you still kind of a bit miffed that it got out?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. No, I'm glad that it came out that way. That was my third round of chemotherapy, and I was really despondent at that point. I will say that the best part of being on this side of cancer is taking everything for granted.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
You know, where you're just like, oh, okay, well, every day is like, you think like, if I ever get well from cancer, I'm gonna live every day to its fullest extent, and I'm gonna suck the joy out of every single moment. And then I look at myself sometimes and I'm just scrolling Instagram, and I'm like, well, this is really what it's all about, isn't it?
That's great seeing you back in top form. You've come out the other side. You're still doing music, you're writing new music, you're performing. I've got to ask you about Coachella. You are playing in front of the biggest crowd you've ever played in front of, which is extraordinary to think of all these years later. I mean, this has got to be goosebump stuff.
You know, Coachella actually told us for years and years and years, we will not invite Blink-182 to perform at Coachella. This is not the festival for them. And then in 2023, they called, and it was literally my first concert back after Tom quitting the band and getting back in the band, and to walk on stage in front of 100 and something thousand people. and perform, and the band was hitting at just the right moment, and it felt like home, and it felt like I was back with my brothers again. It was really a special moment.
What a scene that must have been. I just want to know one last thing. Please tell me you're wearing the long shorts.
I'm wearing Dickie's pants, but not the long shorts.
All right,
not Dickie's shorts.
I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get, and we'll certainly take the book.
I'm keeping the dream alive.
No doubt. it's been wonderful to speak to you. We look forward to more new music, and of course, congrats again on the book.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The book, Mark's book, Fahrenheit 182, is out now.